Chelsea Football Club have a Romeo Lavia issue that they can't avoid. Romeo Lavia is injured again, and in 20 months, Romeo Lavia has played 9 games for Chelsea Football Club from the start, 7 of them only lasting 45 minutes, 14 appearances in general. We need to talk about it. There needs to be a serious conversation held about his place within this team. Furthermore, there are 4 names mentioned. The 4 names mentioned that Chelsea Football Club will be looking to be the backup or competition for Nicholas Jackson. A lot of you are going to be underwhelmed. A lot of you are not going to like it. I can't lie to you. Put my hand up right now. I'm one of those people. I'm very frustrated with the shortlist. I really hope they're throwing a curveball and absolutely putting us off track. But when you listen to this list, I'm going to give you the reasons why they're most probably looking at these players and what it actually means for the summer. But before we get started, it's a new month, new goals, new targets, and the best way you guys can support this channel is by hitting that like button because you definitely enjoy the content. You keep coming back for more. And finally, we are like 300 people away from 40,000. Yo, subscribe, right? I want to hit that target now. Romeo Lavia is injured again. Yes. 20 months on since his £58 million transfer move, Romeo Lavia has decided, well, his body has decided to break down again. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. This is not his fault. I want to put that disclaimer out there from the outset, right? Romeo Lavia does not want to be injured. Romeo Lavia is most probably doing everything in his power to stay fit. This is arguably not Romeo Lavia's fault because from my understanding, from everything I've seen, this is a muscular issue. This isn't issues where he's going out partying and he's falling over and he's injuring himself or he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. This could be genetics. This just could be his fast twitch muscles aren't as reactive as they would need to be a professional footballer. So he consistently keeps getting injured. So it's very hard for us to pinpoint somebody and allocate blame. In moments like this, very easy to allocate blame. However, when you have 14 appearances in 20 months, 9 of them from the start, 7 times he's played 45 minutes for Chelsea, there need to be questions asked. Not because of the quality. Romeo Lavia is absolutely amazing, right? You can see the way he helps us build up, his physical attributes, his mental attributes of how intelligent he is at reading the game, on the ball, off the ball, very well-versed, well-rounded footballer. And genuinely, fully fit Lavia most probably would be in our best team alongside Caicedo, and maybe Enzo has to miss out. That is the type of debate that we would be having, and that is the level of players. But why do we have to have a question? Because you can't build a team around a player that isn't fit. You can't build a team around somebody where this player is integral to your plan and then he's just not there. He gives you 2 games as if he's Roman Reigns as a month, and you need to say thank you. And the problem is we aren't even getting the 2 games. We're getting 1 game and then he's gone for 3 months. And this is where the problem rises, because what happened this season is actually opened my eyes to the problem at hand. Because what I thought was, you know what, he's had 1 bad year, he's recovered, he's going to be now like Reece James and Wesley Fofana, where he's going to come back for a considerable period of time, and then if he gets re-injured, he'll come back for a considerable. But with him, he comes back, he doesn't even play a game. He plays 45 minutes, injured again, out for a month or 2. And this is a problem. So what it prevents you from doing is having rotation pieces. Because now, Enzo and Caicedo are the first 2. Lavia is meant to be first bench player. But what ends up happening is we either have to rely on Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, who Enzo Maresca has really insinuated he doesn't trust, or we have to trust Matisse Mugu. And at this moment in time, you can't trust Matisse Mugu because we've seen him for 4 or 5 minutes. His touch was baggy, he was extremely nervous, and Enzo Maresca has not used him at all since, which indicates one thing: he might not be ready. And the reality is, if the manager doesn't trust him, there's no point in even thinking about him because he's not going to get on because the manager's the one that picks the players. For next season, it's very evident what Chelsea Football Club have already done. A lot of people have said, why have we signed Asugu? Because what is Asugu going to do? Well, Asugu's going to come in and be reliably behind Moises Caicedo and the rotation piece for Moises Caicedo. When we're winning 3-0, Asugu's going to come on. Cup games, Asugu's going to play. And when needed to rest Caicedo, Asugu's going to play. Furthermore, people said, what's the plan for Andre Santos? Then we have 5. You don't have 5. You can't count on Romeo Lavia. And Romeo Lavia is the DM option. And this is where it gets very interesting because if you look at it big picture, Santos can play DM, 8 and 10, right? He can play 10. He might not be as great at 10, but he can do it. He's almost our Enzo. He's almost the Enzo cover. He's almost the cover where if we ever want to move to a midfield 3, we can. So There'll be room for Santos. There will be room for Isugu. But Lavia has got a huge issue at hand. A lot of people, and this is a common take, and I understand it, sell him. Where? Who is going to pay you the amortization value fee? You're not going to take a loss on him on the books because A, you don't want to because it hurts you financially, and B, you don't want to give up an asset of this quality for nothing. Look at it this way. He cost us £58 million, right? You have to divide that by 5 because it's the 5-year discounting fee for the amortization, right? That ends up being just under £12 million a year, plus his wages, we'll say 3 million, right? All of a sudden, that's 15 million pounds a year. He's been here 2 years. So what we need to do is find somebody to pay 45 million pounds or roughly that number for us to break even. Who is gonna pay 45 million for a player that's played 14 games in 20 months? Like, logically, think about it. Because if you break it down like that, you just realize the best option is you just keep paying his wages, pray that he recovers, try to work out his body and see why he keeps breaking down. And then, if he's fit to play, you've got a great asset on your hand. Because when he plays, he makes us better. And that's just the hard, cold truth. A lot of people won't accept that, but it is the truth. Look, a lot of you watch my channel, and a lot of you tell me, Alex, you're a brown envelope. You agree with everything the club does. Well, brace yourselves, because I'm about to not agree with the club. Look, at the end of the day, I have my opinion because I actually believe I'm objective and I can call something out when I agree with it, and I can call something out when I don't agree with it. And more importantly, I can see both sides of the coin. Just because I don't agree with something, it doesn't mean that I don't see the logic in what they're doing. And in this case, I see the logic in what Chelsea want to do. I just don't agree with it. I think the way they're going about fixing the striking option is not the right way. We are going to be back in this situation where we're competing top 4 again next season if this is the striker we acquire. Look, Chelsea have a short list of 4 people. There have been articles that have come out in the last few days. There's a source coming out from France that is very close to Strasbourg that is saying Chelsea is looking at one of those players. And they all pass the sniff test. Like, if you just smell around it, smells like chicken, yeah, we having chicken for dinner. You know them ones. Like, sometimes you come home after a long day at work, I smell chicken. You go in there, check the pot, it's chicken. Like, it's one of those things. So what do Chelsea, like, when you sniff test the Chelsea, what are they like? Young footballers, first or second contract, unproven in the league yet, bags of potential, could be a league. Everyone on this list is unproven at the very top level. 3 of them are young, 1 of them is a free transfer. They don't like paying crazy wages or crazy fees because what they end up doing is, if they pay a crazy fee, at least the wages are low, you can offload him in the future. But if the wages are a little bit higher, if he's free, you can flip him and you can make brilliant profit on the balance sheet. Okay, so what's going on? Number 1 is Liam Delap. Liam Delap is 22 years old, English international, or under 21 international. At this moment in time, he's got 10 league goals at Ipswich Town. He's got a relegation clause of 40 million. Maresca knows him, worked with him in the past. Liam Rosenior knows him. He worked with him in the past at Hull when he was his manager. Joe Shields knows him. The whole gang knows him. Them ones, he's in that situation of they most probably are all putting in a good word for him, and he would be a perfect understudy for whom? For Jackson. He can press, he's physical, he's different. They are thinking £40 million when Ipswich get relegated. This sounds perfect. This is a deal that I believe will get done. Do I want him? Not a hell's chance. And I'll explain to you why. I think this is a young player that needs time to develop. We're going to throw him in the deep end and we're going to expect him to produce. The minute he doesn't finish, the minute we aren't competing for a title, people are going to blame him rather than the fact that this isn't his fault. This is what the label says on the tin. Furthermore, the next person we're linked with is Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko did not take the next level. He did not take the next step that everyone expected him this year. Last year, he was the hottest commodity in Europe. Arsenal wanted him, Chelsea wanted him, Man United wanted him, multiple clubs wanted him. He decided to stay at Leipzig, and guess what? That calculated risk has resulted in him in stagnating. And the reality is, this is the issue with signing young players. Whilst he's got a great strike on him, great leap, good target man, reminds me an awful lot of the riskiness of acquiring a Kai Havertz. They might be different players, but it's the same risk. You're bringing a young player from a league that he should be dominating. You're bringing him into a Premier League where he is going to have to acclimatise, and I don't think he's better than Nicholas Jackson, and you're doing a sideward step. That's my personal opinion. Then there's my friend Jonathan David. Jonathan David is an interesting one because I've got a lot of Canadians that watch me, and I always know whenever his name comes up, people say, why do you not want him? And I will explain to you why. I think there's a reason Jonathan David has been at Lille as long as he has been. Every year, without fail, Fabrizio Romano puts out messages that Chelsea, United, Arsenal, every club under the sun is interested in Jonathan David. Without fail, every year he's staying in Lille. Why? No one's willing to blow the bag in it. And when that many clubs don't want to spend the money on you, big man, there's a reason. There is a reason. Number one, he wants ridiculous wages for a player that's not worth it. Listen, if I had an issue back in the day, with Victor Osimhen getting 250k before tax, I've got a big issue with Jonathan David getting 200k. He's not even in Victor Osimhen's league. He can't chat to Victor. He's not allowed to even say Victor Osimhen's name. That's how different they are in parallels. You can't compare the two. This guy gets goals, and you know what? His GNA is amazing in Liga. He's put up numbers when he's played. I just don't understand the hype around him. I've never seen him have a good game. Every time I watched him, I've left underwhelmed, and that is the problem. I can't leave the match feeling underwhelmed, and I've seen him around about 10 times. I just don't see the fuss. It really frustrates me when I see us linked with him because it just screams cheap. It screams you're trying to think of the financial option. It screams Tosin at a revival. It screams Tosin. You know, somebody that you bring in to do a job. Then when he plays a lot, fans are going to say, oh, he's not good enough, he's not of the level. And then I'm going to sit here and say, I told you lot from day one he ain't of the level. Like, what are we doing here? Please don't get him. He's a stopgap. Honestly, I'd rather go with Marc Guiu. And people are not going to like that, but I'd rather give Guiu the opportunity because I think the upside in Guiu is better than him. And the final one is an interesting one because it's one that is a little curveball. I thought this would happen. And the reason I thought this would happen is because this player has had 2 years of good development. His name is Emegha for Strasbourg. So I saw him last year and his movement is elite. This guy is a really good runner off the ball. He's got good movement and he creates chances with his movement. The only problem is he really likes to run in behind and run the channels. And at Strasbourg you can because they play on a counter-attack and teams didn't respect them. The problem is, and this is the key, how will this translate to Chelsea? And his finishing is inconsistent. A lot of people see his highlights, see the goals, and they're like, hey, he's cold. But when you watch him live, you see how raw he is. He's still very young. And the issue here is, Everton have been interested in him, West Ham have been interested in him, and there are other clubs looking at him. There were rumours that Spurs were looking at him. So maybe Blue Co is now thinking, yo, we'd rather keep him in-house, we'd rather move him to Chelsea a year quick than a year late. You know them ones. So we're in a situation now where sources now in France are saying Chelsea are looking at him as the solution. And I'm going to ask the question, is this the right move? If I'm him, I don't want to leave Strasbourg if Strasbourg are in the Europa League. Have another year of smashing it. Make yourself a player that gets another year of double digits in Liga and then move to a Chelsea or force your way to another club. Because he is very talented and he's got everything to go to the top of this game. But this is my opinion. Let me know yours. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, if you want to go check out, by the way, a video of Joao Felix that leaked that caused controversy beyond compare, it's over here. Check it out. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.